Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox Wednesday stream. I'm Alex Flores, aka Kamisazi, joined here in voice, mind, body, and soul by Lucas is right. How you doing, Lucas?
Alex,
how's your week so far?
Ooh, so far, the week has been interesting. I've been kind of making a little bit of a pivot in my professional life, so I'm learning some new things right now, and that's always
cool.
Fun / stressful / scary / awesome.
What are you learning? If you want to share.
Yeah, not at all. I don't mind at all. So Mike Quiet on Me says go west.
No, it's not.
Mike. No, it's not.
Maybe let me turn down the music a little bit.
As far as what I'm learning, I got back into I started to get back into day trading again. It was something that I did a long time ago, and I got out of it because I made a series of poor decisions, and I think I got into it too soon was the thing. Okay. And I had a good start. I just got excited and went full board too quickly, and so now I'm taking it nice and slow. Learning, I'm reading, I'm absorbing, I'm taking my time. I'm still excited, and there's been things that I've wanted to do that I didn't, and I'm proud of myself for not, even though some of them would have been really good. I'm building my confidence back up, and I'm building my knowledge base back up, and I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Okay.
What about you? How was your week?
I started learning a new thing, sort of, a little bit, and I'm paused for now. I started learning Python. Scripting. Yeah.
Nice.
Just it was there was a YouTube ad for a Python learning platform called, I think it's boot.dev, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And it frames learning in like an RPG, almost like a text adventure kind of. So like each
Zork?
Yeah, but not a persistent console log. It's like each page is yes, I'm becoming a parcel tongue. That's what I'm doing. Each page is like there's a lesson that you read through, but it uses metaphors that are relevant to like gaming and like you being like a wizard and learning spells and stuff like that. And they have an AI chatbot assistant in there, who's a wizard bear named Boots, who helps you. This is not a paid advertisement at all. This is just, I saw this ad and I was like, this is interesting, and I checked it out. It's actually pretty cool. And they have a whole free like thing you can learn. You can look at all the lessons for free, but they only track your like XP and levels and stuff if you do the paid version. So I did like the extent of the free trial, which was super motivating. I smashed through all the lessons. Like, I'm like, gonna get all the XP. I'm gonna power level. I'm gonna do the hardest quests, which are like to get so much XP in a 24-hour period. I cranked through it. I aced every lesson, which I've had enough experience coding that even though I'd never done Python before, all the concepts that I was learning were familiar.
Okay.
For the most part.
It was relatable language.
Yeah, there were a few things that I wasn't, like, I don't think I've ever declared functions in a coding language before, but the concept of...
You haven't declared functions before? Where have you been?
Lucas not being a coder is like, I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know what we're talking about.
So, to frame it in sandbox terms, we've got behaviors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your functions are kind of your behaviors. It's all the things that it's the structure of what this thing does. And so instead of writing out every single line of code that you need something to do every single time, you can say, this function is all these bits of code, all in a module, in a nugget that we can say, okay, I want this set of instructions to happen, or call up these instructions, tell me what the results are. Instead of writing the instructions out every single time, it's a preset of instructions. So
I get you. I got you.
Yeah, and so like I understood that concept, but I had never actually written one before. But what's cool is like you when you write this code, what it's checking for is, are your results correct? It's not necessarily checking how you did it, but you can compare. So like if you don't write the code exactly the way they want you to, you can still get the right answer, because that is a valid, as long as it works.
Nice.
But you can compare and see, and it'll highlight like what the differences were and be like, you didn't quite get this, or it'll show you how aligned you are with the expectations. And then you can talk to the chatbot and look in more depth, which was like a huge ego boost for me, because I was already getting all the answers correct. But then when I'd talk to him and I'd be like, tell me more about this concept, and he'd be like, whoa, you're like really diving deep into this thing. You're really like showing high level thinking about this. I'm like, yeah, I am. So yeah, like everything about that was ticking off all those little ADHD
little dopamine receiver boxes.
So many dopamine receivers. Like the platform was just addictive, and it was like 11 p.m. at night. I had a YouTube video playing to the side while I was working on something else, and it was like, check out this thing. And I'm like, that sounds kind of neat. I looked at it, and then immediately, just like the next 3 hours, like I got to the end of it, I was like, I know Kung Fu.
I was just about to say that. I know Kung Fu.
Gardican is it's a website. Let me double check that I'm saying the URL right.
While you're looking for that, finding the right like lesson plan, app, community like that you vibe with is so important. I feel like when I decided I wanted to start day trading again, I went out searching for a community, and I found one. They're called No More Fake Gurus, and it's wild. Like having somebody that speaks your language that can like help you learn in a way that you can actually learn with has been, like you're saying, it's been so instrumental in just helping push me over the line. Because I feel like like I said before, I had a really good knowledge foundation, kind of. I just had a lot of missing pieces, and there have been so many people in the community that have been like, oh, I kind of explained like how I learned, and like, oh, you're probably missing this and this and this, not everything, but a few pieces here and there, and they just said it in the way that I could absorb it, and it was really nice. It was very comforting. It was a good feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I haven't like locked in to start paying the thing. I think it's like $22.
Oh, you haven't even started paying yet?
Yeah, like I said, all those lesson plans are free. You can read all the material there, but the earning XP on the lessons, like I don't want to do any lessons and miss on the XP.
Obviously not.
And they do more stuff than just like basic Python. Like so the interesting thing is, it's not Python for gaming, it's Python for backend. You can learn gaming stuff.
What's the difference between the backend and the gaming?
Well, this is
gaming more complex?
Not necessarily. It's
okay.
that gaming. I mean, you understand what games are. So like gaming is for making a game, but Python can also be used for other things, like making applications or making stuff run on websites, or if you want a computer to like process a bunch of things, you can send instructions to it through Python.
I actually made a very, very simplistic Python app the other day.
Oh, okay. What did it do?
Yeah, so it's kind of like an RSS feed, but so what it's doing is there's a product coming out called the AIM injection. We've talked about this before. It's supposed to extend your cat's lives by at least 15 years. 90% of cats, when they pass away, it's from kidney failure. And it's just because from the day they're born to the day they die, their kidneys start to shut down slowly over time. And what these injections do is they basically refine kidney function. They bring it back to 100%. And so they're able to filter again. And so you can take cats that are in like complete failure, give them this injection, and they're like, oh, I'm a kitten again. It's really cool, but we don't know when it's going to get released in the States for actual usage. And so me and my wife are like, our cats are starting to get up there a little bit. They're starting to get towards that level where, you know, they might start to go downhill. And so we're like on the edge of our seats, like waiting for this, like, yeah, give it to us. So what I did was me and one of my buddies, we created this program. It's actually an app on my phone, and it's like an RSS feed. It's constantly scanning Google for announcements of AIM being released for a user consumption in the United States.
Okay.
And it links to my Telegram account, and I have a Telegram bot in there. And so so I didn't want to set up like an AWS for all this. I wanted to be able to like just use it constantly, but use it on something that I'm familiar with. So I set it up on my phone as an app, and it'll basically send me a text message whenever there's a notification on Google about the AIM injection.
Okay.
And I have a bot set up within Telegram that will receive that and transmit it over to me. And it's been pretty cool. It works perfectly. I mean, it's not too complex. It's like I said, it's an RSS feed with a lot of extra steps, a lot of unnecessary extra steps. But I added it to the group chat with me and my wife, and so the three of us, I say three of us, one of them is a bot, are in there, and it's just the only thing for that chat is to find out when this injection gets talked about online.
Sure. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, there's stuff like that I would like to be able to make, for sure. Like I don't know how useful it would be. I don't know exactly how I'd use it right now, although it might help me with some stuff with the council. When I was working at a print shop, we had a little tiny application. It barely did anything. It was a little a number input field and a button, and you would type in the job number. So let's say a new order came in and it was job number 1234. I think we were well past that by then because this company had been open since the 80s.
Yeah.
So
at least 1, 2, 3, 5.
Yeah. So you type in the number, and when you press the button, it looks for a folder on the server where we stored all of the customer files and project folders. And if that folder didn't already exist, it would make it, and then it would open it up in Explorer. So the first thing that you get handed, like the sheet of paper that is the order form. Me as a graphic designer, I get a big plastic envelope that has the thing in it. I look at the number, I type it in, and a little Explorer window opens, File Explorer window opens, and either there would be files in it because somebody had already put in the customer PDF or whatever they had sent us, or it would be empty, and that's where I would start saving stuff to. But either way, the folder would be either created or it would just open it as it is. And it was a super simple. I saw the code running because I think it was a JavaScript or something. I saw it and I was like, this is simple enough. If I knew how to write JavaScript, I could make something like that. But I never actually learned JavaScript, and I don't have that specific need. But I could do something like that. So now it's making me wonder, could I set up, for the council, we do all these QA tests, and there's a lot of manual work of duplicating a file and putting in the account info and the quests that we're testing for in game, and the URL to the experience page and all these various things.
Ooh, yeah, just a little basic data entry.
Yeah, so if I have a little Python applet where I just I type in all those fields and hit create, could it make a folder on Google Drive for me and duplicate over the test document and fill in all the info, and then I'm not manually jumping around doing all these things? That would be super cool.
That would be super cool. It'd take a little bit of time to set it up, but I think in the long run, it would be well worth it.
It would save me I don't know, an hour or two a week after I don't know, maybe 16 hours of learning how to put it all together. So it would, would pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
just a thing that I've been thinking about. So so back in Python would be cool to learn. Yeah, it's just kind of where I've been at. Just another skill. But I've been dabbling with coding long enough where a lot of these concepts are pretty familiar to me. So I have a little bit of knowledge ahead of the curve, I guess. It's a big, beautiful block. Or no big, just beautiful block. Thank you, Pepe. The Sandbox Evolution or World Box, it's neither of those. This is VoxEdit, which is the design program for making assets in the current version of the Sandbox, which is the third version of Sandbox. Sandbox Evolution was the second version. And is it saying that we're in Sandbox Evolution? Because it shouldn't be.
That's coming from YouTube, so
I don't know if we can fix that in YouTube.
Well, YouTube it just says the Sandbox game.
Okay, and it doesn't specify.
It doesn't specify like old or new or evolution or anything like that. It's just a Sandbox game.
Yeah. But that question does come up every now and then. People wonder if we're doing Sandbox Evolution. And Sandbox Evolution, you can still open it up on Steam, but not all of like the server features still work. It has been out of development for a long time now.
But if you are a fan of Sandbox Evolution, I would highly recommend giving it the new and improved Sandbox a go. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised and have a lot of fun with what you come across.
Yeah, we do all sorts of fun stuff in here.
So much fun stuff. Sometimes I'm like, hey, Alex, can we back off on the fun? And he's like, no, you get what you get. And he just forces more fun on me.
Like, there's too much fun happening.
Please stop. And he's like, no.
I can only handle so much
Quite
fun.
ruthless.
Oh, man. I think I'm looking at the length of things here. I'm trying to figure out. So what we're doing here is we are building. Look at the image. It's hiding behind this right now. Right.
I don't know if y'all can hear that, but I have a kitten who's screaming at me right now.
Oh, I couldn't hear it at all. I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe
cool.
they could, but I couldn't hear it. I want to hear kitten screams.
Oh man, you do not, because normally when he screams at me, it's like 4 a.m, and he's got a little bit of cold right now, so he's kind of ornery. And this morning, at I think it was actually 3:30, he jumped on my chest and stomach, and I was sleeping. And when he jumped on me, I went, oh, and I opened my mouth up a little bit, and then he sneezed into my mouth.
No.
And I was just like, and it was so wet and gross. And I was just like, oh, dude, I'm sorry you're sick, and I love you so much, but I kind of hate you right now. Please get off of me.
That's so gross.
It was so gross. I was very sad. Not fun.
But you know what this means, right?
That I will get cat superpowers.
Absolutely, you're gonna be Catman.
I need you to run through some radioactive material, big guy. He's shaking his head now.
Oh,
Yeah.
party pooper.
Yeah,
So this is what this block's inspired by. So it's going to be a 2-block project. Basically, we're going to take this block, we're going to rotate it 90 degrees, and make some adjustments to the texture so it has more variety. But the reason for 90 degrees is we've got this kind of snake pattern, and we want the other side going up. So you'll go from this to this, but we can't rotate blocks in the game maker, so we need 2 separate blocks to accomplish this texture. And and then we can just tile them.
So you're making one block you'll just duplicate, so you don't, because you can't rotate it.
Right. I can rotate it in the editor, in the block editor, but I can't rotate it in the game maker. So
Gotcha.
so
So we'll like Mayan block A and Mayan block B.
Absolutely. Yeah, I called it basic, and as I'm thinking about it, it's because at that point I hadn't really decided when I named this. So we'll be A and B, and then we just alternate them, and then we'll get this pattern snaking up and down. I might even do like a C and D where it's all low or all high.
Okay. Smart.
And it'll extend like what you can do with it.
I like that a lot.
Because looking at this side, like this length here is really long. So
oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be able to just like have a straight line as opposed to having forcing it to snake.
Yeah. And we will also have a lower section. So what I need to do now is I actually need to make all of these a little bit darker. I'm accomplishing this with just 5 shades of gray. So I need this.
Alex doesn't go for 50. Alex only goes for 5.
What can I say? I'm a simple man.
We've also got an ad break starting in about 1 minute and 15 seconds.
So if you're subscribed, we're just going to keep on working through the ad break because we just started. If you're subscribed, then you won't get the ad break. You'll get to hang out with us. And we don't ask for subscriptions because that's not the point of this channel. But what we do with the subscription money and the ad revenue is we use it to fund the community Clubhouse, which this block is going to go into. This block is going to go into the Sand Fam collection, so everybody will be able to use it. And we are going to use those funds to buy the land that we're going to publish the game on, and various assets that can go in it. So that money is going to go towards a good cause. So we do appreciate your subscriptions and your ad view time, and we try to be respectful of that and not overdo it. But the money's accumulated over the years, and I think we're going to get to do some pretty cool stuff with it. So yeah, we'll see all you non-subscribed folks who we still love in just a minute. And hey, subscribers, you get to hang out with us the rest of this time, or watching on YouTube and Twitter. Actually, if you're not subscribed on Twitch and you want to just keep watching, you could hop over to Twitter or YouTube at this time.
Oh.
But staying on Twitch means you get Twitch channel points.
You're so smart.
And other benefits of being on Twitch.
It says we've already been streaming for 26 minutes. I feel like we just started.
Well, we kind of did. So I rated early because I was streaming on my own channel. So I had like 10 or so viewers over on my channel, and I was like, hey, we'll raid the sandbox. We'll hop you over here. Just continue on like we
13.
never. Was it 13? Was it 13
yeah.
ratings? Oh, okay.
Johnny Sazi raided the sandbox with a party of 13 viewers.
Oh, okay.
I always have the Twitch Stream Manager section pulled up because I realized the other day that has an ad break like counter on it.
Yes.
So if I'm watching the restream chat, I won't see it. But if I have that pulled up, boom, boom.
So yeah, I'm making the bottom section a little bit darker, so that way we get this contrast between the upper portion and the lower portion. And I'll find a few spots to like put some greenery in the cracks. What I really wish though, I like the block editor, but I wish when I spun it around, it didn't get off-centered, because you can just keep on.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It starts to sneak away, and then you have to pull it back. For the block, like, I mean, it can be helpful to like force it to be off-center if you want to, but for the most part, I kind of just wish it stayed in the middle. But I don't know that there's a way to, like, you can grab it from the top middle, and then it'll mostly spin in place. But if you grab it from like the side, just wherever your mouse happens to be, it does you know, goes way off its face. It's just a thing that I think I'm going to suggest, or maybe there's a setting that I'm not aware of that makes it better for that.
Something that can do some sort of a center point lock.
Mm-hmm. Go West, clip the 5 shades of gray. Thanks.
I saw that. That's what I was listening to.
There's also 3 shades of green if you're not colorblind. So.
And if not, then it's 8 shades of gray. Get 3 more.
That's not. I don't think that's how colorblindness works, but I'll allow it.
It's not. It's not.
When will they make an update for VoxEdit with improved performance? It's a work in progress. I know that the internal staff artists have been hounding the VoxEdit team for better performance. In the block editor, it seems great. Like, I haven't had any issues in the block editor, but I do know that when you start working with like animated assets and stuff, it can be a little difficult on performance. It starts eating up a lot of RAM, so it is a priority that they're working on. 50% shades of gray. Oh man!
Today's show is sponsored by
No.
the Sandbox. What did you think I was gonna say, Alex?
I didn't want to know.
Okay.
So.
Oh, one thing. We gotta pull out here real quick. 1 second. Panda Pops wanted us to talk about the Lord Krishna Avatar Collection.
Yes.
I dropped a link to the tweet in the general chat in the Alpha Stream Dream Team. If you wanna, when you're ready, you don't have to do it right now. Just at some point, we should.
No, I'll pull it up now.
Okay.
It's a fine time. You said put it in general.
I'll put it in the general. I just replied to Panda's comment.
I got it. So, announcing Lord Krishna Collection. Soon players can become any form of Lord Krishna, from the warriors to the pranksters. Inspired by iconic stories, this collection was brought to life by the Sandbox India and Mythos Studios. Let's check out Mythos
Really
Studios.
like that.
So you can become all those various. There's a word for that. Aspects, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the word for like the various iterations of Krishna. And go follow them. Mythoverse Studios, stories of Indian mythology. Interesting.
Avatars, manifestations, or expansions.
It is funny that the word avatar is relevant to that as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, enter the Mahabharat by Mythoverse and play out Lord Krishna's journey as well as avatars. Owners of the Lord Krishna avatar will earn passive EP bonuses in future alpha seasons. That's cool. There's a special event. Win up to 399 sand based on your avatar pool from a total pool of 47,550 sand, plus a share of 15,000 sand that's open to all players. There's the common mischief maker, uncommon flute charmer, rare protector of his people, epic demon slayer, and legendary lord of the universe. Very neat.
Also, if I'm trying to pull it up real quick here. Here we go. I'm fairly certain. Here we go. Got it. So in there, it talks about, the allow list. Mint date is June 3rd. And Sandbox India replied to a comment that was asking how do people get on how do people join in on the allow list? And they said if you're a land or avatar owner, you're already on the allow list. If not, we'll be dropping a list of community partners who will be giving away whitelist spots very soon. So, if you already have an avatar or you already own some land, you're already on the allow list.
There was another avatar-related thing that I want to talk about regarding the current Playboy event, which I'll do in just a second here.
Oh yeah, good call. That was on my list too, and I forgot to bring it up. Are you looking for the comments from Scott?
There was another question that came up on the Discord chat about it that I wanted to find out the answer for.
And Red Lily Rose is in the chat, and she is the one who asked the question that got the response from Sandbox India that I just read off. So thank you for that, Lily. That was helpful.
It's funny, that's who I was replying to on the Discord chat.
Fair enough.
Regarding the current Sandbox event, well, let's finish talking about the Lord Krishna thing first. So, so there's custom animations, emotes, and unique traits. They have a celestial high and a cheeky laugh and a disgraceful disagree. So it sounds like the emotes have custom animations, which we'll have to see what those all are. There's a serene Krishna-inspired idol and a dance move that's pure bliss. So I don't know what those all look like, but I guess we will find out. And then it says up to 5 players in the Krishna experience will win exclusive access to Mythoverse film sets. What?
That's pretty
cool. One lucky player will become a citizen stakeholder with script access and creative influence. All winners receive the citizen role, granting them access to lore, early drops, and VIP events. This utility is exclusively available to individuals located within the Indian territory. So, I mean, film set access, that kind of makes sense. Like, it would be complicated for me to hop on a flight over to India and stuff. So, the Sandbox will not be responsible for arrangements and expenses related to this utility. So, I think you have to either take care of your own travel expenses or, talk to that team about it. But the Sandbox itself is not involved in those specific rewards.
It's fair.
But it's still a pretty cool thing to be involved in. I've seen similar things on a lot of Kickstarters, right? Where, they'll create a character in their game based on, like, your drawing or something like that.
Yeah.
So related to the Playboy event, there were some questions that got cleared up about about how to participate in this event. So there had been a note that you needed to complete all quests, and then there was the difficulty of people who did not have either a Playboy bunny key or a Rabbitar or a Playboy avatar. They weren't able to access the premium area of the experience and get the last, I think it's last 3 EP. So that restriction wasn't supposed to be there. There might have been some miscommunication. So that's no longer on the event page. You are actually able to do any amount of EP you want. We do recommend getting at least 1 EP, doing at least 1 quest in the experience, because that will make sure that your account has been recognized by the system. Because theoretically you could connect to the game and your internet could like disconnect, and then our server, you may see like the game and you started playing it, but our server is like, we don't see them. So we do recommend playing to at least get 1 EP. That way all the systems recognize that you were there. And that's all that's required for the event. Not all that's required, but all for gameplay. That's all that's required out of gameplay. You don't have to get those last 3 EP. I have asked if we can possibly list the Playboy Bunny keys if you do want to go get that and get those last EP. And if you have a Playboy Bunny or what was it? Bunny people? Bunny citizen? I can't remember what the Playboy avatars are called.
Rabbitars?
Rabbitars is a separate thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Rabbitars are the ones that is a bridged project from
gotcha.
that the Playboy minted their own Rabbitar profile pictures. And so those are bridged over to the sandbox. You can access the premium areas with those, but there's also the Playboy Party People. That's what they're called. Red Lily Rose said that in the chat. So either that or the key or a Rabbitart are all you need to get into the premium area, but that's not required for this event. Now, you do have to transform an avatar. You can choose either blue team or red team, or you can do both. You can transform as many avatars as you want, but they do have to be a premium Sandbox official avatar, meaning like a Playboy Party person, and not a Rabbitart, in order to count for the reward pool. The reward pool does get bigger for each avatar that you transform, but you can only get a maximum of 2 rewards out of it.
So only transform up to 2 is what you're saying?
You do what you want, but you will not get more than 2 rewards from the reward pool if you transform more than 2 avatars. So you can do both the blue and the red and get rewards for both of those. But if you keep on transforming more, you will be putting more into the reward pool, but you're not going to get more than 2 shares out of it.
Gotcha.
So you can benefit the community and make that pool bigger if you wanted, and you might see your reward go up a little bit from it, but it's like a diminishing return.
Gotcha.
And they do need to be, like I said, they need to be official avatars from the sandbox. So a Playboy Party person will work, but a Rabbitart will not. So if we transform, say, a People of Crypto and not a Playboy, that won't count. I thought People of Crypto was a Sandbox official avatar project, but like World of Women is not. I thought People of Crypto was Sandbox official. Red Lily Rose says they need to be something not like Agoria either. I'm not sure on that one. So Agoria, I think, is Sandbox official, but Agoria is weird because the avatars transform every 12 hours, and I think that messes up the system. So that's why it doesn't work with like the Panda Pops and Andy Ritchie and Lady Pixie avatars, because those are a different contract from the avatar contracts. So there's some oddities there. So I would recommend transforming an official avatar, maybe not Agoria. A small print in some random Sandbox Talk Twitter will seep down. Yeah, I mean, I'll check to make sure, because that might be something that gets fixed at some point. But I'll see. What will happen to the transformed avatar after you choose a team? Will it stay visually transformed forever or just for the time of the event? They only stay transformed during the event. That's true for all the events. Sometimes it takes a little bit to transform them back after the event closes, but they do stay transformed just for the duration of the event until they get flipped back. I feel like there was something else that I wanted to say about this. Oh, if you transformed an avatar and it was the wrong one. So like the system is supposed to only let you transform valid ones, but sometimes the invalid ones sneak into the interface. Those naughty avatars. You can make a ticket on Discord, and our Discord staff can help the official Sandbox Discord. Make a ticket there, and they can get you sorted so that way you're still eligible. So if you accidentally transformed your Rabbitart, or I don't know, your Cool Cat, or Gutter Cat,
one of those others.
Pigeon, yeah. What was the pigeon one's called? I don't remember. Then the Discord staff can help you fix it out. Thank you, Jazz. We'll forget the Discord link in there. Yeah, I think there is code in there to stop it from transforming, but it might not be the list might not include everything that it needs to. Transform system also shows duplicates of the same avatar when selecting one to transform. I'm not sure. I haven't done the transformation. I did get the thing. Let's see. I think I have an Agorian, so I guess we'll see if they're in there. Pick an avatar. Receptionist. Is this a Lady Pixie thing? I didn't even know I had this.
I don't think you do.
What?
I don't think you do.
Well, I mean, all the rest of these I definitely have. I don't remember.
No, I'm saying the receptionist one, I think that's the visual bug they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like I've never seen this before. What is this?
That might be all your Lady Pixies, because it looks so. The first one that was ever launched was Snoop Dogg, so that's obviously chronologically that's the first one.
Yeah.
What happened after Snoop Dogg in your purchase history?
I don't know if I ever bought any Lady Pixie stuff, but it also might be age of the actual NFT, because I see Steve Aoki and Demigods of Rock, Clone X, Gods of Rock, Cyberkongs, Rabbitars. So yeah, it will let me select a Rabbitars, which I don't think will work for the event. Yeah, so Snoop Dogg, Steve Aoki, those would work, but these two and this whole row would not work. VoxEdit would not work. Cooniverse, Care Bears, Playboy, those should work. Super Plastic wouldn't work. Dead Mouse wouldn't work. Octoheads wouldn't work, I don't think. Rabbits would work. Mad Balls would work. Pixelton wouldn't. Fist of the North Star would. Dance Fight would. Septo Labs. I'm not sure about the Underwatch. That... I don't think the Underwatch would work, but that project was very closely tied into Sandbox stuff with Sandbox stuff, so I'm not sure how that one works. Captain Tsubasa would work. Fun Guys is a bridged collection, that wouldn't work. Captain Laserhawk would work. Where is... I could have sworn I had an Agorian. But I'm not... I didn't see Agorian.
Maybe that's one of the receptionists?
Maybe.
I mean, that's too late in the... No, that was way, way after all that. Chronologically speaking. It
would... Agorians, I think, were before Captain Tsubasa. Like, maybe even before Dance Fight. And I didn't see them on here. I might also not have an Agorian. I thought I did, though.
I thought you did, too. Remember, we made a joke about it because yours had an instrument and mine had an instrument. We're like, we're going to start a band.
Yeah, and I don't think I got rid of them. I almost never get rid of stuff. Yeah, here, DJ Agorian. Here they are. So the Agorians don't even show up in the interface, unless that's the that one that seemed bugged. Which here, receptionist, Lady Pixie. Do I have 5?
Receptionist.
Do I have 5 copies of this? I don't remember getting this.
Somebody might have sent it to you.
It is possible. People have sent me stuff before, and I mean, I've got 2,110 public NFTs. That's not even all the ones that are hidden because they're like spam junk or whatever, or like all the clothes I have for Doodles, the Doodles project. They like each one is an individual NFT. I'm gonna go show all of those on my profile. So what is this one called? This is Receptionist.
Mm-hmm.
It only shows that I have one.
No, it's visual bug.
Yeah, but it might be that the Agorians are also being shown over for that. When did I get this?
Nobody knows.
Oh, a whole bunch got sent out 24 days ago. 25 days ago. It looks like Lady Pixie airdropped them to people. Maybe people who already held other Lady Pixie things. like a lot of them have been sent from an account called Lady Pixie in the past 2 months.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know about any of this. Let's see, activity. Yeah, it could have been from them. I might have also had it from before and just not remembered. But I didn't remember seeing it in my avatar collection. I'm not sure. I would not select if you see the receptionist in the conversion thing. I would not pick that one.
Yeah.
Jazzwolf says my Agori avatar is not showing on the transfer page.
Okay.
Red Lily Rose noticed that it's not there also. Yan Yan says, I just joined. Is this a new event? Yeah, so this is about the Playboy, what's it called? The Ultimate Bunny Showdown, Ears versus Tails. So we're just saying that you need to pick it says eligible avatars. I was told that bridged avatars are not eligible for this event, but if you do happen to select a bridged avatar, just make a Discord ticket and say, hey, I transformed the wrong avatar, and you should be fine.
Help!
Yeah. So I would pick an official one, so like I can take my doggy. And wait.
Yeah.
What's it's there's bloods are red and Crips are blue, right? So Snoop Dogg's blue.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay. We're not choosing the Velvet Hot Cocktail for Snoop Dogg. just to be respectful, right?
You know what? I'm sure Mr. Dog will appreciate that.
So we're going to confirm that transformation. And so that's in progress. And,
Oh, wow,
all
that
things...
animation is really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. You can't, like, rotate it or anything, though. Although if you click on... No, it doesn't let you do anything. And then we're going to select for the red. We're going to go with Foodieverse. And choose. So I grabbed 2 of each transformation thing because I actually want the cocktail assets too. So if I like make a bar or something, I can actually use that asset.
Dip those on into there.
Yeah. And then I'm only transforming 2, so I get both the bunny tail and the bunny ears. Snoop will become a male bunny. That I didn't even think about that. I was just like, yeah, transform him. It's fine. All right. So it does take some time. It may take up to 6 minutes. So we'll check back on that later. So hopefully that answered everybody's questions about the avatars. It looks like Agori is blocked off. I would recommend not doing bridged ones. If you have bridged ones, if you have official collection ones, try with those. But if for some reason you selected the wrong one or you didn't know at the time, Discord ticket should help.
Get it.
And yes, I'm doing both blue and red because I want both prizes.
I feel like
Valley Dub says team ears.
way to go.
I like the look of the ears, but I also like the look of the tail, and I think use them both.
Why not both?
Yeah. I've also already got other bunny ear head equipment.
In real life and in the game.
Oh yeah. It's in there. I'm saving it for Saturday because we're gonna play that on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah. Saturday. I mean, we have played that Playboy experience before. I don't know if there's been any changes since the last time we played it. But we should be able to play.
It's been long enough that I forgot about it. So
yeah,
brand new for me.
Yeah. All right, back to this block. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I pay attention to the edges that these are on, so when I rotate it, they still match up. The map was totally rewritten last year. Oh, that's nice. Is it new quests or just like redecorated? Oh no, I think it was nicer before. Well, they may have simplified some things because I think it was a very detailed experience, which is nice, but it can be a little heavy on performance for people's computers. So that may have had something to do with it. They rebuilt about 70% of it. Very okay, cool. So there's going to be new stuff to check out. That's always fun.
So, why don't we walk people through what you're doing here? Are you quite simply just adding texture to said block?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a plan that is there something you're copying right now? Or is this just Alex using his artistic eye?
I'm referencing this as just like a visual inspiration. I mean, this is the ideal, right? This is the ultimate goal. There are some ways that I'm simplifying it, in that, we're trying to make a block that we can repeat and reuse. So we want to make it not so overly patterned that when you see them all lined up with each other, that it's like a very obvious repetition. And I won't be able to get all the various shades of gray. I'm not doing any like bright highlights like this. That's next, right above Lucas's head. There are highlights like at the top of the block, but I'm not repeating that highlight down here just because like I could put it here like this, but I feel like it'll just end up being too much noise. Because as much as we can tell that there are distinct blocks here, we can also tell that this is a fairly flat and smooth surface that is raised above this one. So I want to make sure to emphasize that this surface is further out than this surface.
Okay.
And
I gotcha.
That's more important to me than getting all these little highlight details in. So I use a little bit of highlight here to just push this section back and raise this section forwards. But that's it.
That's really cool. The first couple times you pulled that image up, I didn't notice the layering effect like that. I thought it was just all like same. If you were to look at it from the side, it would be flat, but no, not at all. Wow, I'm really glad I asked that.
Sorry, I was fixing my my audio filter. The AC's up today because we're starting to get to those warmer months. Finally, but it does. My mic picks it up really bad.
Yeah. What's the temperature like?
You don't want to know.
I do.
You're gonna feel like I'm a wimp. I will say it's warmer in my office than it is outside because
you've got a bunch of computers running and stuff. That makes sense.
I've got, well, it's really just one computer, but it's doing a lot. It's a big boy, and I've also got three big lights running right now. So just the combination of all of it, it's 71 degrees outside. But if I didn't have the AC on, it would probably be like 77 in this room. Which Lucas is looking dead inside because he like wishes it was 77. But is enough that I would start to sweat on my forehead, and it would just get to see me all shiny and glistening.
Then makeup would come in and start patting him down while he's live on camera, and that's just embarrassing. We can't have that.
I hate having stuff on my face. Oops, I covered up Lucas.
Same. Yeah, no.
Speaking of stuff on your face. So yeah, I when people are like, oh, blush or whatever, some makeup to do that, I'm like, never. never, don't touch. I don't want anything on my face. I want there to be skin and air and nothing in between them. Ever. The only thing that ever comes between them is alcohol in the form of like aftershave to let it evaporate off, and then your skin is more dry for the layer of air. Like moisturize. Oh, that's like not makeup, but like gotta moisturize. I'm like, my skin gets moist enough on its own.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. Like I wear hats a lot. Obviously not on stream, but when I'm out about in the real world, I wear a hat. And if I've combed my hair and I put the hat on after I've combed my hair, and I have to wash the hat before I'll put it back on, because that hair care product will be in the hat. And if I put the hat back on and it's got that stuff in there, it'll get on like my forehead, and I feel that, and it drives me bananas.
All right.
Also, just to throw it out there, like my ideal temperature, if it's in my house, is 78 degrees. That's like perfect. The other day it was 101 degrees here. So for all you Celsius fans out there, that's 38 degrees Celsius. So
how do you live at 78? If the ambient temperature is over 75, I just start sweating. Like just unless there's like, well, if there's wind, I'm probably still sweating, but it like whisks off the wind. I'm okay with 75 if there's a breeze. That's nice. That's like, oh, I could stay on these for a while. But yeah, 72 if I could, however, is very humid here in Atlanta. Yes, and that's Atlanta, and yes, Atlanta's a very humid place. 74 is what I leave the house at. I go for 69.
You guys like it chilly.
I do. I like it cold.
When
Like my legs
at
are
night,
actually cold right now. I'm wearing shorts
when I sleep
also.
at night, I jack it way down. That's 73.
I can't even. I mean, you live in the desert, so I'm from New England. I'm used to being chillier. It does get up to 100 here, but it peaks at 100 for a couple days throughout like July and maybe August.
Okay, so you get it too? You get it too?
Yeah, I mean, not to like 105 or 110 or whatever insane.
115.
Only inside of a car that's been sitting in the sun. Just see dollar signs at that temperature. I mean, it's not that much hotter outside. It's 71 outside right now, so 2 degrees below what's outside. It doesn't actually take that much. But like I said, it would be 75 in here because of all the equipment. If I wasn't streaming right now and I didn't have the lights on, I would actually just open the window. But having the windows closed, if I had the windows open, I'd get a bunch of ambient light that would mess up the white balance for the green screen.
Can't have that.
And I would also get more heat from the sunlight coming in through the windows. And if the window's open, I live right next to the major road through town, so you'd be hearing a lot of vehicles passing. People go blasting by on motorcycles and stuff. It's ridiculous. It's a dry heat, not here. Heat here is only humid. Actually, most of the year is only humid. It's just at certain temperatures, the humidity is not so bad.
Yeah, it's like...
I hate the humidity.
Part of the year, I drive a motorcycle, and in the summertime, it gets to a certain point where I have to stop, because it's like driving into a blow dryer. If that blow dryer was sitting in an oven. And it's so uncomfortable, and just you get off your bike and you take off your glasses and your face just looks like somebody baked it, except for your eyes, which are just sadly dead. And it's just not a good combo. So I stop it around July.
Yeah, summer's coming though. It's starting
The long winter is over.
Yeah, finally. Okay, I mean, we had snow 6 weeks ago. maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago, we had some snow, and but weird too. Like it doesn't snow that late here usually. I don't like this gray going up that high on this side. Drop that down.
So how are you selecting what color you're using when you click? Is it just if it's already gray, it's making it a shade darker?
So the O key is a shortcut for the eyedropper.
Okay.
So I'm just clicking the color that I want. So
Gotcha. Okay.
As we established
hovering
earlier,
over certain areas.
Yeah, as we established earlier, there's only 5 shades of gray. So we've got the lightest one here, and then this, we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can see all 5 in this little stretch here. And so I'm just always bumping it to whatever the next one is by clicking. So I go, oh, click, and then, hey, I can do that.
I was wondering how you were doing it so smoothly, because I was just like, he's just like, I'm not seeing him go to the right side of the screen to select a new color. So how is this process actually transpiring?
Which you don't actually have to go to the right side anymore. You can put it wherever you want it now.
Oh, you can. Nice.
That's the big update with VoxEdit was we have panels again, which we have not had for a long time, and you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It's pretty sweet.
That looks so good.
Yeah. So I'm a maniac, and oh, that's not what I wanted. That. There we go. Whoa. There we go. Back to normal. Pretty close. Wait, when was that? I didn't notice this button before.
Go on.
Click and hold to sample a color from anywhere on your screen.
Wait, so not in VoxEdit?
Yeah. This is a feature that is not in every program, but I love it when it is. I use it all the time in Photoshop.
I was just gonna say that'd be so useful.
So you
could go look at that picture of the Mayan temple that you were looking at earlier and literally draw colors directly from it.
It doesn't like the... Oh, sometimes it does. It's confused about the 3D window here because sometimes it is wanting to select that green to teal, but other times it's like, no, this is gray, and I'm like, I'm not hovering over gray.
There's no gray here.
So part of this might be screen scaling. Because I'm on a 4K screen, I use Windows recommended 150% scaling, and that can confuse programs. I know Magica Voxel had a similar issue. Magica Voxel is another one that does the screen select, I think, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure I can click and drag to... Yeah. Magica Voxels works really well, where I can click and drag and it'll select whatever color on the screen you hover over. Watch it in real time, selecting different things I hover over. Which is great if you have like a reference image off to the side and you're just like, that one, and that one, I want that color, and I want that color, and I want that color. So it's cool that VoxEdit has it, but sometimes screen scaling does affect the program's ability to see what you're seeing. Like it's operating on a layer where it's like the program is looking at things unscaled and I'm looking at it scaled, so it just kind of argues with what it thinks it's hovering over. I also have dual screens, which seems to confuse it also. I'm currently bringing my mouse over to my right screen and hovering it over. I've got all this texture on my desktop here, all these voxel blocks. And see, it's still saying it's like teal and stuff, but if I bring it to a certain point, it starts seeing the yellow and the blue and the orange better. But over here, it's like it still thinks VoxEdit is right here. So I think it's an issue with the screen scaling. So if you are not using screen scaling, it probably works fine. It's a me thing.
Way to go, Alex.
Ah, I broke it.
Oh no. Yet another game Alex has broken.
This isn't a game. Can I stop selecting? Can I exit it? There we go. Uh-oh.
Can you just expand it?
I'm gonna try to save, and I'm gonna. How do you exit? Is there a shortcut key for exiting?
Escape.
Save. Yeah, that actually it actually is escape. There we go.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day, Alex.
I tried doing too many weird things.
The intro screen for VoxEdit looks so good.
It does. It's funny. I hadn't noticed it till today because I was always opening VoxEdit and like doing something else to the side, and like I'd look back and I'd just be at this screen. So it wasn't until this morning I opened it. I was like, when did we get a cool splash screen? Like, I had no idea that was there.
I am just seeing it today too. Maybe it's brand new. Because I'm the same way. Whenever I've opened VoxEdit, it's to examine something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always been like opening in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, I just never noticed. Red Lily Rose says, I have mine scaled so I don't have to squint. Yeah, I mean, Windows recommends on a 4K screen to do 150 scaling instead of leaving it at 100, because at 100, it's really, things are really tiny. Like, it just, you would want your mouse sensitivity down so you could select very small movements. But then if you need to go from all the way from the left side of your screen to your right side of the screen, you're like moving your mouse like, the whole length of your arm. So just the combination. Yeah, it's just toss it across the room. It's over there. Now click. Yeah. So the screen scaling is recommended just because it is a very large number of pixels to move across, and it is easier to see. But also, it's funny because when I go to my laptop, which is a smaller screen, I'm like, I squint and I'm like, why am I blind? I don't even wear glasses. I don't need to, but I feel like I should now. And it's just because the screen, and my laptop screen is big for like a laptop screen, but it is tiny compared to my dual screen setup here, which is 54 inches. I think.
Thing.
I don't have anything to measure.
I always have a tape measure sitting at my computer table.
Yeah, what do you need that for?
So many things. Like right now, how big is your monitor? Like, I can't tell you how often. Like, I started having that here about a year ago, and I can't tell you how often this has come in handy. And I don't know why. It's like at least 3 or 4 times a month somebody asks me, hey, how big is the I was working on like a mace mock-up the other day, like Knights in Armor style mace, and they're like, how big should it be? 24 inches, 36 inches? And I was like, that's a great question, let me figure it out. And so I pulled out the tape measure, and I was just like, man, I love this thing, it's so useful.
I have a tape measure in the other side of my office for it's in a toolbox. I just have like shelves with tools and art supplies and stuff. So I'm not running over to get it out. I'm pretty sure it's a 27-inch screen, and then it's 2 of them next to each other. So you go from that to like a regular size screen, and it's just like, what do I do with this? It's so tiny. I feel like the productivity like drains out of me on a smaller screen. But if I'm traveling or something, I have to be on the laptop. So the laptop basically just sits in my bag for the rare occasions when I can't be at my desk, which are very rare. Right. What are we doing? We're coloring. So yeah, as far as like how I select what I want, it's really just about vibes. It's all vibes, man. There's no rules here. Now personally, as an artist, I always set up rules for myself, which helps me organize what I'm doing. And like, this is not like a high, lofty concept of art that everybody should apply to themselves just because of something that I say, but it is internally how I work on things, is that the value of good art to me is application of rules. And like, did the artist set up a system of rules of how they wanted it to work, and how well did they follow it? And if they broke the rules, was it done with intention? Because I think
it wasn't just chaos,
right? Like it's I haven't really studied like Jackson Pollock enough to form a solid opinion on him, but I do know that he had concepts and techniques that he wanted to execute in the way that he did things, and that's part of the way that they're able to verify whether it's an official Jackson Pollock or not, or authenticate if he really made it.
I like that.
For me, I am very picky about the contrast of colors and alignments. I don't want things to be too aligned. So like initially, and actually this is the way it looks on the real thing. The blocks here are lined up on the same line. The raised surface to the pressed in surface. These bricks are all lined up with each other. But I didn't want that here. I didn't want to carry this line from here to here because I wanted to force that perspective more, to push it in. I'm basically doing what 3D artists would call like a bump map, where I'm forcing, even though it's a single flat surface, I'm forcing your eye to like feel like something is further back, which is why this is down 2 voxels lower, and this is up 2 higher.
Okay.
But I also didn't. Yeah, and I didn't want it to be like this, because then it feels like a mistake. It feels like this is like I broke the line, whereas this feels intentional. This feels like I'm making a distinction here.
Okay.
And then you'll notice like
I
changed the colors here, so I do a stain on this, which makes the crevice between the blocks slightly darker. Like this is all the like the crevice between the blocks. It's darker than the surface of the blocks, but then this one is also stained here, so it also does that. But this color is the same as this color, so I can't have this, because then you start to muddy the water. Is like, what is the surface and what is the crack?
Where's the distinction?
Yeah. So then I do that, and it's like it becomes very clear that this is the shape of the stain on the bottom. Need to add an ancient alien astronaut. So I've been thinking about that. I was looking at some Mayan artwork last night. There is a thing on the bottom of the blocks. I did this little pattern. This was inspired by a. I had originally, this was a face, so these were like little tentacle things, and then this was a face. And let me see if I can find it. And you'll kind of see where the inspiration. What was it called? It's the Ahau or Ahapu, maybe?
You want to spell that for us?
It's either AHAU, which I think is the pronunciation, or AJPU, which I think is the spelling in English. And it's this thing. It's kind of cute. It's the symbol for a day, I think. And originally, you can kind of see the similarities, right? For the bottom half, it's got this little tentacle thing, and then this little loop. And so this area was the face, and it looked cute. But I also realized that the way I'd be using this block, it might end up being like the ceiling of the entire inside of the gallery.
You didn't want that many faces staring down at people?
I didn't want to just be repeating faces constantly. So so I just took the bottom part of it, which was my favorite part of it, and I just made them little swirls coming out of this kind of flower shape. You can call it a flower or a sun, maybe.
Took your favorite part and repeated it.
Yeah. And so that's where that came from. And I might add more blocks. So the outside of this pyramid, it doesn't really have any adornment. It's just blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But I may add some more. Like there's stuff at the top here that has some things. I don't know exactly what they look like. The difficulty is that when you look up photographs, when you Google search for photographs of Mayan temples, every single one of them looks exactly like this. It's just from the bottom, angled up. It took me so much searching to look at what the top of this surface looks like. I just wanted to know, like, after the edge of these blocks, what does the top of the step look like? Nobody was taking, like, aerial photos, at least not close enough to get a detail of the ground surface. And a lot of these, you're not allowed to climb the steps. You get yelled at if you try going up the steps. So that's why there's not a lot of photographs from the top. But
I might be able to get you a video of exactly what you want. One of my buddies is a really well-known drone pilot, photographer, and he recently did like a drone flyover video.
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that from him.
Give me.
I'll reach out to him right now.
I want it. Give it to me now. I've always loved pyramids and especially Mayan pyramids. I just think they're really beautiful, and we had the opportunity to go to them on the first cruise my wife and I went on, because we were at Costa Maya, which is I think like a half hour, 45-minute drive from some of these pyramids. I'm glad that we didn't, because it rained really hard and a bus got stuck in the mud and broke in half. And another bus like was in an accident, and like the bus driver was like asking the people who were on, and this is a chartered bus, they were asking the people to get out and push. A bunch of them had to walk back like a couple miles to the boat through the rain. So it was not a good time for the people who tried to go see the pyramids.
What you're saying is you dodged a bullet. Very muddy bullet.
We didn't have the greatest time either. We were at the beach, and we were at the beach for less than 5 minutes before the rain was coming down so hard it felt like hail was hitting you. And we like escaped to like a restaurant where the water was pouring in at like a 45-degree angle through the windows, because it was like an open air restaurant. So we're all like huddled on the tables that are furthest from the windows, like trying to stay dry. We had a rough time in Mexico. We really liked Belize. Belize was beautiful and everybody was super friendly. Mexico was not as great. I'm not saying about all of Mexico. I'm just saying Costa Maya specifically.
Your time specifically.
Yeah, was not that great.
You were there. Yeah, because of the weather, which no one can control.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah. We got to unlock that Mayan technology. I'm sure they were controlling the weather with their ancient alien technology.
Why else would they have such amazing pyramids? Weather control.
Exactly. Blue Tulip says, I was thinking a lot about polygonal walls in single assets. Can't get near close what they did thousands of years ago. Polygonal walls in single assets. Blue Tulip, you might need to elaborate on that comment. I'm not sure what you mean, because they weren't making polygon model assets thousands of years ago. Are you just saying like you're trying to like model like a pyramid in like VoxEdit or like Blender? Just looking for clarification.
Yeah.
So anyway, my process very much about setting up rules for myself and following them pretty closely. I might need to break them. I might need to make that. Sometimes I get to a point where like the rule is not working anymore. Like it's not conveying the look that I want to have for a specific thing. And then I have to either modify my rules or break my rules. But for the most part, I try to follow them, and it gives a good visual consistency to things. I don't know. It's important to me.
It provides a lot of consistency, and you can tell that in your artwork.
Polygonal masonry. You're talking about the way they fit like L-shaped blocks together. It is very impressive what they were able to build way back then.
No arguing with that.
Are we doing a giveaway?
Would you like to?
I think we probably should. That's a good idea.
Okay. Pull up that form because I already got it made. It's just sitting around here. Which screen is it on?
Where did I leave this?
Somewhere.
I spent like 6 or 7 minutes trying to find my phone yesterday. I have a bookshelf in... So my office has several rooms, and there's a bookshelf right next to the doorway that goes from the front room of the office where the door is. Basically, my Lego lobby is what I call it, because it's got a couple wing-back chairs and then just shelves full of Legos. It's for like my kids to play in if they're hanging out with me while I'm working. And so the shelf is right next to the door that leads to the back part of the office where I am right now. And I don't know why, but for some reason I had put my phone on top of the shelf in my process of going between rooms. It's not something that I usually do, but the phone is black, at least the screen is when it's off, and the shelf is black, and the lights were off, and I went in and out 5 times from my office and then going back to the main part of the house and like looking around the living room and the kitchen like, where did I leave this thing? And I'm like dialing it from my watch like, where are you? And it was literally right in the main pathway, and I passed by it so many times. I was just,
Let me ask you this.
blind.
Does with your watch, can you not just make your phone like glare?
No, that's what I did. But when I did that, I was in the house, not in the office.
Oh, gotcha.
I had just made dinner for the family, and like we ate, and then I was like, where's my phone? And so I thought it was in the house, and I was just, I'm usually really good about finding things really quickly. Like visually, I just spot things, and I credit it to digging through buckets of Legos, trying to find like the one piece. Like I own one of these pieces, and it's in a like 3-gallon bucket full of pieces, and I'm digging through with my hands, and I was always able to find the pieces that I needed. And so I credit that with being able to just like scan a room. People have been looking for the remote for like 2 days, and I just like walk in and go, it's there. But yesterday I couldn't find my phone for so long. All right,
I had to go through that.
we're in ad break time.
What are we giving away?
Let's say it after the ad break. It's only 19 seconds long. But for you subscribers, who's subscribed here? I know we've got a couple subscribers. I don't know if any of them are watching right now. But this is your special time to blow up the chat. Nobody else.
Jazzwolf.
Jazzwolf is a subscriber.
It's Sparkplug.
The secret code is Spark.
You said it after the ad break was over,
no,
Alex. Now everyone knows.
Oh no,
it.
I told everyone the secret code. Oh no. Plus everybody on YouTube and Twitter could hear it anyway.
Now we gotta change the secret code.
Go West. What was it? It's too late now. You do not
Too
know.
late. He said it. We said it too many times, frankly. So many times, and now we're gonna change it. That being said, Alex, what's the giveaway today? What are we doing?
We're giving away an orange hat today.
Okay. Here. there. Leave it in a comment on the TSB Creators account. Live stream on X. It's everywhere. Frankly, you can't get away from it even if you wanted to. I don't know why you would want to, but if you did, and you can't. You're like, I'm going to try to escape it. I'm going to go over to YouTube. Nope, it's there too.
And then a lot of this pattern making is about variety. Like, you don't want any of the shapes to be too similar or too repetitive. You just want to bring a good mix to it. So like, I'm not vibing with this stain on this side of the block being the same height as this stain on this side of the block. Because if this is the corner piece, I want them to stand out distinct from each other. So I think I'm pretty much done with
going down.
That side. We're gonna flip it over. Go over here. Wait, did I finish this? Yeah. Do these.
Jazzwolf says, today I have been subscribing for 12 months. Thank you.
Happy subscriber birthday.
Oh, yeah. You're a year old today. Congrats.
That's 1/16 of the way to you being able to drive a car. That's so dumb.
But it's accurate.
Usually people say like, oh, like my car's old enough to vote or something like that. That's usually the way people say things like that.
Yeah, but 1 second. I'm trying to figure something out real quick.
I'm trying to figure out how old your car is.
Yeah, but how old does the car have to be to rent its own car? 21.
Okay. I knew it was 20 something. I couldn't remember if it was like 24 or 21.
It's 21 for a lot of companies.
The first time I rented a car was just a couple years ago. It was after I was 30. Okay. Well, I don't think you have to be over 21 to rent a U-Haul. Maybe you do.
No, I don't think so either. That's different though.
For U-Haul, for U-Haul, they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, they're like, do you have 10 fingers and 10 toes? We're not gonna ask to see your driver's license. You're good to go.
I don't think they check your toes or fingers for that matter.
Yeah, you're right. What was I thinking?
You're an amputee, and you need to move. You're out of luck. That would be a lawsuit.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Like right away. You just go right to jail. No, I did rent U-Hauls for moving, but I don't think I ever rented a car until I was after 30, and we took a spring vacation trip to Texas to visit my grandmother, and just my kids had never been outside of New England really. I consider New York part of New England. It counts.
Okay.
It's like, oh, it's a mid-Atlantic state. It literally touches the Atlantic just at New York City. The rest of it is all like parallel with the rest of New England all the way up to Canada. It's like you're a New England state. You don't get to say you're mid-Atlantic. Why would you want to hang out with New Jersey anyway?
I got some friends in Jersey. They're pretty good people.
I'm just talking smack for no reason. I have nothing against New Jersey.
I'm calling my friends.
What happens if I check no to do I want to win an orange hat? You could potentially be eligible for something else. We don't always do this, but occasionally we have done surprise. Like a little gnat just flew by me. Surprise little special giveaways, and also specifically during like alpha seasons, like we give away alpha passes. So we sometimes combine those things. But yes, you do already have an orange hat, so you're not able to claim another one.
Yeah. So fun story, and it's after the fact it's a funny story, but when it happened it was not a funny story. Of me and my first U-Haul. So I rented a U-Haul to to move, like one does.
Yeah.
And we got it to the place that I was renting, and right out front of the unit was a speed bump. So I parked the U-Haul so the back tires were on the speed bump. And I did that on purpose so things wouldn't roll out of the U-Haul, because it was a little slanted and things were rolling towards the back of the U-Haul as we were putting them in there. And so I was like, I'm smartest boy alive. I got this figured out. I'm gonna put this at an angle and use gravity as my friend.
Yeah.
And my best friend looks at me and goes, "You sure that's a good idea?" And I was like, "I think it's a great idea. What, do you see any potential problems with it?" And he's like, "No, I just kind of feeling like it's not going to turn out as well as you think it's gonna." And I'm like, "Well, let's do this." And so we're doing it. We're having the move day fun as one does. It's the worst thing ever, especially because I usually move in like July. And it's the hottest part of the hottest
like
year.
this?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
but
like the heat,
fun thing.
but I want to be uncomfortably hot.
Another fun thing about July is that's when Arizona gets flash flood monsoons too. They don't happen very often, but if they're going to happen, chances of them being in July is when it's going to happen.
Okay.
And I just so happened to be parked on this speed bump. And also, there was an awning that was coming down. I'm sure you can tell where this story's going, because as we're carrying a couch out, I say couch, I use that term very loosely. We found it on the side of the street. It was barely a large love seat, and it probably had something living inside of it. We're carrying this outside from the house to the outside, and a flash flood just hits.
Right then.
And all the water in the world hits that awning and goes into the back of the U-Haul, which is at a slant. So all the water gets pushed towards the front and all my things. Yeah, that's the end of the story. That's all of it. It was just everything got wet, and yeah, I had a fun time drying all that stuff off.
That sounds like a great time. Remind me to never help you move.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good time. It was
Not
wonderful.
that I'd be first on Lucas's list. We live like what, 5,000 miles apart.
Yeah, a hop, skip, and a jump, and then another skip. Yeah, it was wild. I couldn't believe it happened. I was just like, I'm almost not mad, because what are the odds? It's just nature saying, you thought you were getting one over on gravity. Well, guess what? I say
Take this, smart boy. Mr. Smarty Pants over here.
Yeah. Not as smart as you thought you were. That was pretty wonderful. Block's looking good, man.
Thank you. It's like a soothing process, kind of.
I like that people are seeing this, because it also shows, when you see an experience, when you see a world, when you see a game, and there are assets such as this in there, you can see how long they take to put together well. You're not seeing it all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, what you didn't see was the part that's my least favorite to show people, is me figuring out what I want to do. Because at the point I'm at now, I'm just saying, okay, these are the rules that I've established for colors, and now just go and just do like all these different variations on these shapes and fill them all out. What you didn't see last night was me going, I want this corner to be 4 pixels from the edge. No, maybe 6 pixels from the edge. You know what? Instead of it going straight line all the way down, let's make this diagonal. And well, it should be this long this way. And you didn't get to see all that. That's the ugly part. That's the part where I'm indecisive and I keep on going back and forth. And it, I mean, maybe you like watching that. I don't like showing that part to people. I typically, I grew up with people watching me draw, because like my family, we'd be at church and I'd have a sketchbook, and after church, all the kids are running around playing and stuff, and I'd be sitting down drawing. Never really bothered me. But if I'm trying to make something with a very set purpose, and I'm trying to like concentrate on how this is going to be impacted in the game maker when it's put alongside other blocks, and I'm trying to figure out all those technical aspects, I like being undistracted for that.
That's fair. You want to get your foundation in place before you start throwing things out there to the world.
Jazzwolf says that she needs to learn to stop second guessing herself. I would say that I haven't figured that out either. I go back and forth on ideas a lot. The thing that helps me a little bit, I guess, it helps when I actually do it, is literally doing it. Just don't stop. It's easy for me to get frozen, get what we in the ADHD world called executive dysfunction, where I like, do I do this or do I do this? Do I do this or do I do
Analysis
this? Do I do this
paralysis.
or do I do this? Exactly. You get stuck on that. You need to put a pixel down. You need to just put something there, and it doesn't matter if you keep it or not. The act of placing a color, placing a node, placing a keyframe is sometimes all the catalyst you need to actually start going in that line. And you may need to go back and delete or change those things, but it's so much faster to just get something down and move forwards than to get stuck knowing if that path is the right path or you need the other path. Because I hate redoing stuff that I've already done. That's one of the things that causes that analysis paralysis, executive dysfunction for me, is thinking, do I want to do A or do I want to do B? And then I don't do either of them because I don't want to have made the wrong choice. And you'll see it when I'm playing games too. Just in the game I was playing before this stream, you come to a T intersection. Do I turn left or do I turn right? And I kind of start stepping left, and then I look right, and I step right a little bit, and then I kind of do a little shimmy. and as I'm going left, I turn around and I'm walking backwards, still going left, going, maybe I should have gone right. I do that like in all aspects of my life, really. But the key is that you just got to commit to actually still going that way. And once you actually start going on that path, then you can know, oh, wait, this is the one that leads to the next area of the level. Man, I should have taken the other way, and now I got to work my way back to see that thing that I missed over there. But oh well. But you just got to do it, because if you never start stepping one direction or the other, you're never gonna.
Have you ever heard of the starving horse paradox?
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a philosophical paradox that illustrates a situation just like you're talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's they basically put a horse between food and water, and it's equal parts hungry and thirsty, and it's the inability for it to decide which way to go first causes it to basically starve to death.
Oh,
or just it
that's
passes
so sad.
from it is, but it's an illustration of what you're talking about right now, of that I get stuck instead of just making a decision and moving into it, and that the hardest thing to do is to just, for some people, is to just put that first foot forward. And it's really good advice to just, sometimes you just got to start moving, even if you're not sure which way you want to go. Just start moving, because that's the best thing you can do for yourself. Especially when I've had a lot of people message me things like this in regards to game jams. I'm so scared about getting this game started, or I don't know what to do to get this project rolling. And I give them the exact advice that Alex is just giving, is just put that first pixel down.
Yeah.
And that is so helpful for so many people, is once you start moving, that momentum will carry you forward.
Yeah. And it's been not like a thing that I learned in therapy, but like just a self-observation thing. Because when they give you ADHD meds, they have you talk to a therapist or a psychiatrist to just make sure that they're that you're a right fit for what you're getting. So I didn't learn a lot in that process, but I did learn a little bit better how to like observe myself and why I'm making certain decisions.
Good.
And it is for me, it really is I don't want to redo what I did already. But I waste so much time procrastinating, being unable to pick which direction to go, that as frustrating as it is to go, path A was not the way I should have gone, I should have gone with path B, it's still less time to double back and start doing path A than it is to just sit there staring at both, unable to decide.
Yeah. The big thing for me was, go on.
Just being able to recognize that in yourself, or me being able to recognize it in myself, you know, everybody's different, has made a huge difference in me being able to start projects and complete projects and just be like, I just gotta go, let's do it.
Yeah. I came to a very, very similar realization about myself, and that realization for me was, if I would have just started when this project was first like brought to my attention, I could have completed it twice.
Yep.
In the time where I was actually trying to figure out how to get started. I could have done it. I had two possibilities. I'm like, oh, should I do it A or should I do it B? I could have completed both options quicker than waiting till I figured out the perfect way to start and the perfect project to start, and then getting that one done.
Yep. And it's a painful realization.
It's
It's like agonizing. It's like,
yeah,
I've wasted so much time.
Yeah.
But it's true. Waiting for the right moment to strike, and it can happen with other things too. Be like, when I want to cook dinner, like I want all the dishes to be washed. I want the counters to all be clean. I want all the food to be the perfect like ripeness, and you know, the trash can to be empty, and like I want everything to be perfect to start. But that's not realistic to always have it be that way. So sometimes you got to just start. But what I actually do a lot of times now is like, hey, start the water boiling for the pasta. Now let's start getting things ready, and that kind of gets me going along to get the other stuff done before all the water boils out.
First foot forward.
All right, so I've introduced a extra shadow to really push this. I had the highlight before, and now with the shadow, it really pushes that forwards.
At some point today, are we going to get to see you drop this into Game Maker?
Yes. Now what time?
Nice.
3. We got another hour, right? So I think we're getting pretty close to being done. So I'm going to finish up this block and get it in there. I'm not sure if I want a gray here. I feel like maybe too much.
I think it's too much.
I don't know. Let's see what it looks like with that. Yeah, I think it's too much, especially because we'll have the stain texture on there. So give this. I mean, we could have like a little bit with the stain texture. Yeah. So we'll get that in there. And we'll see what it looks like and see if there's any changes that we want to make before putting in the next before making the rotated block. So we're almost done with this one. So the stain, I can't carry it all the way to the bottom because that will interfere with the texture on this side.
Okay.
But what I don't want to do is I don't want to have these kind of floating away looking like glyphs. So I do want to anchor some of them to the actual edges of the blocks here on the sides. So that was one of those decisions that I made early on, that I kind of was unsure about, was that the corners of the bricks are going to flare out because these steps are not straight up and down in real life. The sides are slanted. So we kind of mimic that sloping here, where while this doesn't actually stick out at all, having it wider at the base kind of gives the impression of it popping out a little bit. And what we're going to do for the blocks that go beneath these, because each of these layers on the actual pyramid are 2-meter stacks, we're going to have a block that's just the darker texture, but I'm going to continue this diagonal line out. And kind of a motif that that I use a lot, not all the time, but I will do. I try to get a good mix variety of up and down movements without it being a repeating pattern, so you don't see like 1, 2, 3, like this is too regular of a pattern to me. This establishes it as a textured pattern and not organic. Having this 1, 2, 3 here means that that would have been an intentional carving of a regular comb pattern, whereas having it like this breaks it up in a more like this is the natural staining of the stone. That kind of makes a distinction for me. But one of the ways I'll throw a little curve in there to just spice it up is having these little diagonal ones. I'm not putting any out like that, although I have on some projects, putting some out like that. I'm not trying to make too many like little details, I say as I manually place every single voxel down. But I'm not trying to like make it too dithery with the patterning. It's just this one little diagonal voxel off just creates just enough variety to offset things so they don't look too same from stain to stain. I had a couple different classes in art school that the professors talked a lot about making variations and things being important to the artistic process to make things visually interesting and not repetitive or boring. So again, like as I'm looking at this, I'm like, this line from here across to here always end up with the same height. So I want to do something that brings this up from, 3 voxels to 4 voxels tall. Just it will break up the monotony of it. So I think we're done with that side. And I feel like this area here is too narrow to put anything. Anything that I add in there would just be too much noise in a very small gap. Same thing with up here. I just have the block texture. Actually, as I look at that, talking about popping things out, a little forced perspective. How's that giveaway form going?
Closed out and looking for the winner now.
All right.
Congratulations goes out to one of our YouTube users.
Oh.
Starcy Bearful. Sandbox username Cephid1991. Congratulations, my friend. You have won Wizzy's singed orange hat. It's a little crispy, but I assure you it has been washed. No need to worry. We're gonna spruce it up, put it in a nice little hat box, and send it on over your way. It is ready to rock, and it is all yours, and there is nothing you need to do to receive it. We have your wallet address, we have your email address in case something goes wrong. We have everything we need to send you this nice little digital fruit basket of fun. It's not actually a fruit basket, it's actually a hat. So yeah, enjoy, my friend, and congratulations. And as always, please wear it with pride.
Pepe likes the beats. You can always check out that playlist on YouTube right here in the chat. It's my little mix of royalty-free songs. They are a bunch of the songs do ask for attribution, so that's why I made the little Wizard Radio widget, because it perfectly crops those videos to show the title and artist name while it's playing. Always happy to promote artists and what they're making. Speaking of promoting artists, I saw an asset for sale on the marketplace that I wanted to share with everybody.
Was it the EXO?
Yes. And I'm feeling dumb because I just extracted some sand from Polygon to ETH, and I'm like, did I leave enough for that? Because I forgot that it was there till just now. Let's see. Oh, I never checked back on our transformation. We'll get there in a second. Let me grab. Did you see the EXO? Because I retweeted it.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool. It reminds me of the show that I love so much, EXO Squad, from back in the day. Yeah, it's just so cool.
So this is by Marshall on Twitter at @whitehairdomain, and this is a really cool mech. It's got
a real BattleTech vibe to it, and I love it.
Yeah. It's got idle, walk, death. I'm guessing it has an attack. So you could probably use it as like a melee enemy. And look at this thing. It's pretty sweet.
How big is it?
It is 8.5 meters tall. 6.25 meters wide, and 5.5 meters front to back. It's pretty sweet. Yeah, so it's got idle, attack, death, and walk. It also has a static idle if you wanted it to just be standing, ready to be activated. Do I have enough sand?
Activate.
I have 0 sand, apparently. It's because it's in the process of the bridging.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna have to move some back. Pick that thing up. Let me share it in the chat though. 1 second. So yes, there are 15 minted. 13 are listed for sale, and they are 15 sand each. So go check that out. It's pretty sweet. And leave one for me. Just one. I only want one. Pick that up. $4.50 worth of sand. I'd say that's worth it. You get a very large, fully animated entity that should be compatible with the battle system. Plus, you could use it in combination with the animated asset behavior, advanced moving platform behavior, speaker components and things. You could do like a total custom like boss battle with it if you wanted. It's pretty sweet. And this was for the post-apocalyptic future with Terminator Dark Fate contest. It won 7th place. Make it a backpack so I can wear it. Well, it is 8.5 meters tall, so it's going to be a little bit big for your backpack.
Alex?
2 meters.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit tall for a backpack. But
maybe
it would be a cool design to be a backpack. Yeah. It would be cool.
Or we could like make like a little like a handle for you, and you could be its handbag.
It would be cool to have a mini version as a backpack. It would be pretty cute. Or to split it up into various parts and make it like an exosuit you could run around as. I mean, you could set this as the character, the player character in your game. You would just be limited on the animations. Like there wouldn't be a jump or roll animation, things like that. But it would walk, and it would attack, and it would die, and it would idle if you set it as the player. So you can do some cool things with that. Let's see how our transformations are going.
Oh.
Oh,
there you go.
Snoop Dogg is a man. So I thought he was gonna. I thought I was gonna. I didn't realize the ones on the outside would be. I didn't realize those guys were options. I thought it was just the two in the middle. So I got a guy in a suit and a red bunny girl. But not bunny girl. We don't call them that. They're just bunnies.
Got it. They have their preferences, and we will respect that.
It says it takes account into gender, but I'm pretty sure that was my Cooniverse avatar, which I think was a guy. But maybe
what if it's a robot?
I don't know. But I think when we play on Saturday, I got a tail. Well, that makes sense because it's the Tails one. But on Saturday,
but you still have your Snoop Dogg background.
Yes.
Neato.
Yeah. So what does this one have? This is Cooniverse.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll run around as this guy for Saturday. I wonder how well the blue hat with bunny ears will match. Maybe it's random. It might be random, or it could just be that it wasn't set up with Cooniverse the same way it was with Snoop Dogg. All right, we're almost done here. Let's get these last few textures in. I am going to do some updates later to this block to get the green in there.
Is the green supposed to be like moss or something like that? Lichen?
Yeah, well, if you look at the photo real closely, there are little teeny tiny bits of green sticking out between some spots. Like, you see little puffs of green in between the blocks.
Oh, yeah, I see one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're like all down along here.
Okay.
So call. The interesting thing, I don't know if this is the case with all of the ancient Mesoamerican pyramids, but a lot of them were like lost to history until like, I don't know, like the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and stuff, because those cultures, those societies, they died out so quickly, and there's just these abandoned cities and complexes, and the jungle took over them rapidly. The jungle was just like, you are forest now. And so people, flying surveys or traveling through the jungles and stuff would like stumble upon these places, and then they would get funding to like go and clear it out, and they would like, remove all the shrubbery. So like the tops of these steps, I did find some photos that the tops of these steps are kind of grassy still. Like there's like dirt and grass like up at the tops.
Nice.
That's why I made the tops like this. I took artistic liberties. I have no idea what the stone pattern is like on top of the steps, or if there even is one. It might just be dirt. It might be like a retaining wall with like a dirt floor. That's grown in grass. I actually don't know. Can give your dude some bunny ears if you have the asset. I do. I have several bunny ear assets.
Mm-hmm. He does.
I have liked rabbits for a long time. I've never had a pet rabbit, but my go-to stuffed animal as a child was a rabbit. I actually still have him. It sits on my bookshelf. A little rabbit named Nathan. Somebody stitched him up for me when I was not even born yet. Somebody my parents knew made him, and you can tell he's well worn, well loved, because he's got a bunch of stitched spots where like this stuffing started coming out and parts started falling off of him.
And were put back together.
Yeah, he's very much he was the if I was Andy, he was Woody sort of situation.
I gotcha.
Although Calvin and Hobbes was more my thing. I mean, I always liked Toy Story, but Calvin and Hobbes is what I associated with. Calvin and Hobbes. One of my best friends doesn't know what Calvin and Hobbes is.
You should.
And I'm like,
not be your friend anymore.
Well, it's the friend that lived with us for a while, so I mean, like, it's a very good friend. But when I found out she doesn't know what Calvin and Hobbes is, I'm like, you didn't have a childhood.
Orange. Remember when they hold his eyes open and force him to watch things?
You're gonna know all about Calvin and Hobbes. Yeah, doing her in the world a favor.
Exactly. She'll come out with a situation about her person. She'll thank you in the end. Just go for it.
Exactly. Anyway, what was I getting to? Calvin and Hobbes. Oh, rabbit. So when my wife got pregnant with our first kid, I was looking for ways to raise some money, and I was fully employed at the time, but I was like, we could use more for this family. And I did a series of Kickstarters, and I think three of them were successful. I was doing this was all before NFTs, but it was kind of like NFTs, and that it was actually, when were CryptoPunks minted? Was it 2018? 2017? Well, this was 2015, beginning of 2015 that I did this. I had a sticker project where I would make limited edition stickers with like numbered cards and collectible art.
June of 2017.
Okay, so this is a couple years before NFTs. But you know, all this stuff was offline, and it was called Bunnyface Ltd, Bunnyface Limited, and I would just make different variations of like cartoon bunny faces, and I still have a tote full of stickers and pins and all the stuff that I made. That I fulfilled all the Kickstarter orders, but part of the Kickstarter was funding to like get additional inventory to sell, and as a new parent, I never ended up like putting the time into actually selling it. So I just still have like a few thousand stickers of various cartoon bunny faces.
Nice.
Been trying to figure out how to send those to people, offload them. It would get to the point where postage is like more expensive than the stickers now. But, I don't know. Maybe I'll do something with them one of these years. Hopefully before they lose stickiness. That was the other thing. Apparently, I've been hoarding stickers since like elementary school, because I found a binder full of unused stickers from my childhood, and I was helping Maggie with my younger child with a school art project. Like, oh, we can use all these stickers, and we're sticking them to this poster board, and they're just falling right off.
Oh no,
they're not sticky anymore because they're 30 years old. Some of them.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Some of them were still sticky, but other ones were just. She's like, oh, like I want to use this one. I'm like, okay, we stick it on and pick up the piece of paper. It just falls right off. I'm like, that's not gonna work. But yeah,
we're gonna need to glue these stickers.
We are going to save and upload this block now, and I'm gonna think about whether I actually want to add some greenery into this, or maybe we'll leave that as part of, because Panda did the decorations of greenery around the base.
I was gonna say, let's maybe just use greenery as like something additional asset that you put on there and like sync into.
What I might also do is have non-green versions, because I'm already planning on doing A, B, C, D. I'm doing the A version, rotated B version, and then the lower block version that's all dark, and the long versions of these. So I'm already planning on doing those, and maybe we'll leave those all like plain gray on the sides, and then do another iteration of these where we add in little bits of greenery.
Okay.
As an option, and then it's gonna mean that you have a lot of choices with these games. All right, so let's upload this to Workspace. Oh, it looks so good.
It does. It's very aesthetic.
I mean, it's like, I like the 3D view, but then when I see it in the isometric view as the thumbnail, I'm like, that's a really sexy look. I like it.
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I did a wonderful job here.
I'm tooting.
Toot away. Toot away.
I do get imposter syndrome for some things. Why did it go to the download page? Can I not upload right now? Let's try that again. There are some things where like, and it is especially before I've started a project, when I'm in that executive dysfunction. What did you call it?
Analysis
paralysis phase of like not sure about getting started. And then I see the projects that other people have made, and I'm like, could I even? And then I look at like what I've made, and I'm like, I know that I can. Like, I just have to actually do it. And once I'm in the groove, and like once I see the finished thing, I'm like, I like my own artwork.
Nothing can stop me.
I don't know why. Oh, you know what? There is. Maybe I need to run the install script again. Every once in a while, you might encounter VoxEdit not uploading correctly. Let's see, where is VoxEdit's folder? So you can run this install.bat, which basically tells, and then it might yell at you because it's like, you're running a script, and it's like, I'm gonna run anyway. I know what I'm doing. Oh, I do have to run as administrator though. So install run as administrator. It's gonna yell at me, and then it goes. Okay. So that install.bat script basically connects. It puts a link for the computer to go, oh, you're in your browser, and now your browser knows where VoxEdit is. Because VoxEdit doesn't have an installer, you just extract the zip. So you could put it in any folder, so your browser doesn't know where to look for it. Although that shouldn't affect the upload. That really only affects the open in VoxEdit button you see when you're editing assets. Maybe I'm not in the latest version of VoxEdit. We're in 2025 1.0.1. With the new interface, I don't know if there's a way to see if there's an update. Let's try uploading one more time, and if it doesn't work, then I will try I'll try updating it. See, there should be some sort of banner that says that update's available. Let's see. Okay, just open the VoxEdit page again. I'm gonna be sad if we can't see this in the Game Maker. I wanna see it. Change log. I'm not in the latest version. 2025.1.0.3. I'm in 0.1. So we got to download VoxEdit. We got to download VoxEdit. we got to download VoxEdit. Hello. What is going on?
Check on another monitor?
No, there's nothing else there.
What is happening?
It's just nothing's happening. That's the problem. Oh,
the button won't work if you have hint download in your link. So go to the VoxEdit, just remove the hint dash download, and just try going to the actual VoxEdit homepage.
Did somebody in the chat say that?
Validub over on YouTube.
Oh, I was looking at the Twitch chat. Why does it not work with the hint? That's wild. How'd you figure that out, Validub?
Yeah, how did you figure that out? That is... What?
That's like a very specific weird quirk that I didn't know about.
Somebody had their developer tools pulled up and they were looking at stuff. Because that is...
Readily Rose. So the reason the download button wasn't working is because it had the question mark hint equals download when we were on this page, and we got to this page because I clicked upload, and it opened up VoxEdit, the VoxEdit page. So I clicked upload, and it landed me here instead of the normal asset upload page. That's weird.
Did you open a ticket and have a team member give you this advice, or did you just figure this out on your own because you're like, super brainy?
If
walk
you
us
haven't
through that process.
If you haven't already made a ticket for that, I will make one. But let me know, because I don't want to make another ticket for an existing ticket.
Well, they said Validub said they opened a ticket for it about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, I will. I'll check on the status of that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And then add it to my checklist of things to do.
Your little to-do list. And by little, I mean I'm saying that very sarcastically.
My to-do list, which has never had fewer than 10 items on it for the past like 10 years. Because like I do some items on the checklist and then more items get added to it, and then I flip over my planner to the next week and I copy over the remaining items from the last week. So it just goes like from week to week, and it never actually gets down to nothing left to do.
Sounds about right.
That is the way life is, and I hate it because my brain is like, I need the list to be clear. I need the achievement. You did all the things. And yeah, that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Just a heads up, I've got about 10 more minutes until I got to take off.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're close to finishing up here. Let's upload this block and see what it looks like in context. Red Lily Rose, I know who you are. Like I'm familiar with you, so I'm not like scared of a link, but that's a sketchy looking link.
Agreed.
It's a Google link. Is G static Google Images? I'm guessing G static is like a Google thing. There we go. Now it's uploading. Thank you, Validub. That was very helpful. I don't think we would have gotten to this point today without your assistance there.
Yeah.
No picture, only emotes. Yeah, I mean that's normal for Twitch. I think I don't think I've ever seen a Twitch chat where you could drop in custom images.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna create a new asset, and it's gonna be a block. We're gonna confirm type, and I need to. Well, I guess I can wish list it with the other account. That way, if I need to edit it, Mayan block. Okay. Create asset. It's the exposure's so blown out on the website though. And I'm gonna log into the community Clubhouse account. And we're gonna open up the Game Maker. I actually need to make sure I open the right version of the Game Maker. Because I've been messing around with 0.12 and I am so excited. There is a Trello board that is official that says what things are coming this summer. The beans are crazy.
Is that publicly available?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, I shared it with somebody on the Discord. I'll pull it up in a second here.
Okay.
Let me see here. Sandbox Discord. Let's see if I can find it quickly. Event rewards. Dino. One second while I log in here.
You got it.
Oh no, he shrunk. What was the alert? What's the alert for? Did you make that noise?
Mm-mm.
I heard
Wait, what noise?
kind of noise.
That was probably me. I said help me, but like a really tiny voice because I got shrunk.
The Trello link. Thank you. Which I also just found in Discord too. I'm just getting logged into the community Clubhouse account real quick here. Just exerting some password safety.
You do that, safety.
All right. Oh, it's loud. Turn that down. Which also means that I turned down the alert volume, but let's see. Community Clubhouse. Here it is. Or not Community Clubhouse, the Trello. This public board is view only. So it is a public board. Anybody can check this out. Lucas, if you want to share that in the link for YouTube, you can. So 0.12 is for summer 2025. Lobby and matchmaking version 1. Creators will set matchmaking conditions such as player count and skill levels to optimize game balance and enhance gameplay. Players will wait in lobby and automatically join once participants are ready. I've seen what the setup is for this. It's cool. It's the minimum. You can set the minimum and maximum players, so you can say this is a game for 2 to 6 people, and like the match won't start until you get enough people in there. You could say that the instance locks when you meet a certain number of players. So you can say that the match won't start until this number of players is in, and then once it starts, it's locked, so you don't have people going in and out. It's neat. Save data. Creators will choose which player data to save for multi-session gameplay, if desired, including rules, variables, checkpoints, and inventory. So, start making those MMOs. Players are gonna be able to come back to the game and resume their progress. New HUD editor. It is the way you set up the HUDs right now in 0.11 is very like, it's not a user interface that like really reflects what you're doing. It's more abstract. So the new HUD editor is like super visual. You can see like what you're doing. Auto saves while you're working, so you can set it to save like every 5 minutes, so you don't lose progress if there's like a crash or something. This one's a little controversial. Creation mode, single player, multiplayer. So once you start, you have to select when you start creating an experience whether it's going to be single player or multiplayer, and it's going to make it so that way you only see the single player or only see the multiplayer versions of things. So it kind of streamlines your creation process, but you need to decide at the start what mode you're going to be in.
Okay.
So hopefully that will make games less buggy because people won't accidentally be mixing single player and multiplayer logic. But it also means that like if you make a multiplayer hub, you can't say, I'm going to decide it's going to be single player now. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. Collectible auto equip. You can set it so that way when you pick up equipment, it automatically is equipped as an option. You can also do message on unequip. So we've had a message on equip, meaning you can say, this gate unlocks when you equip a sword. I always think of Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. They like don't let you leave the city until you have a sword. And so, because they're like, it's a big scary world out there. We're not going to let you out into the danger unless you show us that you have a sword. And so we've had that option, but if you unequip the sword, didn't make any changes in the game. So now you can have message on equip and message on unequip, meaning you can say, you have to be wearing these boxing gloves to be in the boxing ring, and you can automatically teleport the player out of the boxing ring if they take their gloves off. Things like that. Set custom collisions. This one's so cool. Setting custom collisions. There's not any more details here, so I'm not going to say what it is. But, oh man, it's cool. And I'm so hyped about it. Multiplayer spectator camera. Actually, I forgot about this one. Creators will allow players, if desired, to follow the progress of other players after crossing the finish line. That's pretty cool. User interface redesign. Some of the user interface is the same. Some of it's new. It's kind of in an in-between process right now. There are some big differences. I'm actually working on the documentation for that. Window resizing. So now you can resize the Game Maker window. This is probably what part of the user interface redesign is for. So it's, if you're working in window mode, it's going to allow some more flexibility. Display ultra-wide support. So a similar situation with that. Inventory, new items highlighted. In-game discovery and play. This is like game client specific. Don't worry about the game client. I'm looking at. Oh, okay. Well, this one's cool. Play with friends. Players will see what their friends are playing and be able to jump in to join them.
Will there be an option to like go incognito? You're like, I don't want my friends knowing what I'm playing.
I'm not sure. Maybe. We'll see. Easy update publishing, profiles, partner event highlights. What's that? Partners will showcase their events on their user profiles for easier engagement with their communities.
Rewards hub, V1, and loot boxes.
Players will discover a new rewards hub, formerly claims, to explore various ways to earn, including a brand new loot box system. New challenges will launch in Q3. I wonder, I had made like some suggestions similar to this. I wonder if that's anything like what I suggested. Web notifications. Players will never miss a reward.
Loot boxes.
Well, people within the NFT space don't hate them so much.
No, I was being sarcastic. Nobody hates loot boxes. Everybody loves them.
Oh. It depends on how you get them. If you have to buy every single loot box, if you can only get a thing through buying multiple loot boxes with a chance of a random drop in them, that can be frustrating. But if it's like you need to earn so much EP and then you get a box that just has stuff in it, like that's cool. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Players will never miss a reward, key event, or limited time season change with a new web notification system to keep you updated in the latest activities in the Sandbox Metaverse. That's been needed. Sell assets without catalysts. That's lazy minting. Creators will have an option to list an asset with the required catalyst type and maximum supply, no minting required. An owner of the required catalyst will use it to mint a copy of the asset at purchase. That's a big deal for making like passes to your games. Say like, hey, it's 1 sand to play these games that I made, all of them. But you need to mint the pass, and that way you don't have to buy like 1,000 common catalysts. VoxEdit updates. I think we actually already got most of these. Magic wand selection, maybe not. Customizable user face. We at least got some of these, and much more. Coming soon. Quest variables. There's other things that are new that are in 0.12 that I thought were really cool that are not mentioned here, and I'm not going to tell you about them yet. You're just going to have to wait. Yeah, sorry, I got a little derailed.
You did, but it's okay. It was a good derailment.
All right, this is Community Clubhouse. Oh, but I need to wishlist the block. I'm block A. Wishlist. Can I wishlist it before the level loads? Go to it. Come on. Load my profile. Let me wishlist the block. Wish listed. All right. Oh, perfect.
Nice.
All right. Hopefully it's here. Blocks. Wait, is it not showing wish lists? You don't have any wish lists. That's not true. All right. We'll go back. It should load faster now. We're nudging it so that way it goes, oh yeah, you added this block to your wish list. Panda said that she should have the ledger set up for this account pretty soon. So as soon as that is good to go, I will share the wallet address. And if you have anything you want to donate, could be a Sandbox asset, could be artwork that you want displayed in the gallery, you can donate it there.
Okay.
I have things that I want to donate. I've collected a few artworks.
I don't believe you.
So yeah, there it is. So it's going to be not exactly a mirror image, but the next block over is going to have the wave go down. So that way the pattern is extended. And then we'll also have versions with the line being just low and just high. So that way we can extend that pattern even longer.
Okay.
So it's going to look kind of like that. And I didn't want the, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this perfectly square in the corners. I wanted like a little bit of variation from side to side. So that's why the lines are a little bit wiggly on the edges. I might do some things to kind of distort that top so it doesn't look too much like a grid. And then we've also got...
I'm digging the sides though.
Yeah. Where'd I put it? And then this, the darker section will be, there will be the block that's just the darker bit going down.
Looks really good, man.
Thank you. Look up, and that's what the ceilings will look like.
I like it.
Yay!
Huzzah!
I'm like, happy dance, and it did nothing. There we go. All right, so let's see if we can find somebody to raid.
Okay.
Who is streaming right now? Is there anybody in the sandbox? You're welcome for the stream, Gardican. Pepe Sandwich says, Ace! Does that mean I beat the entire enemy team in one shot? That's usually what ace means to me.
Okay. Are you a fighter pilot, Alex?
Well, it's that game that I have the tattoo for on my shoulder. I found out some people still play it actually, and so I played it a little bit the past week. It's like such a nostalgic throwback for me. But if you defeat all 3 enemy teammates before one of them respawns, so the entire enemy team is gone, the announcer goes ace, meaning that you aced the other team.
Is Ace streaming right now?
I don't know. Is Ace a person?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Let's see. What are some other tags here? Well, there's people playing Minecraft. There's people. Oh, is Vodak streaming? Let's check out. What's Vodak streaming? What they got going on? Rocket League? Is that the right Vodact?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's raid Vodact. Go check out some Rocket League. And we will see you on... Well, I'll see you Friday, for Final Fridays, playing Final Fantasy 3 over on my channel. And then Lucas and I will be back on Saturday with the Sandbox stream, playing the Playboy Bunny event, and as long as there's time, some UGC stuff, things that you guys have built. So have a great rest of your week, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for hanging out.